Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech, and in this video I'm going to be answering your queries of some of the most frequently asked questions. How do you import stuff? How do you shop internationally? What are the charges associated with it? What sites to trust? How do you trust these sites? How do you end up choosing sites? What are the things you need to consider? Warranty and all that. So in this video I'm going to answer it to the best of my knowledge. I'm not a expert on this. I haven't done this professionally, importing stuff. I just do it for myself, for devices that I need to get to review, accessories that I want to buy and stuff like that. So these are the things that have worked best for me, and I just want to share it with you guys. So let's get started after this little intro clip. Alright, so when it comes to shopping internationally, I'm going to divide it into two: shopping from the West, shopping from China. So when I say West, it means the United States of America, Europe, European countries like UK. It's pretty similar how you shop from there. And China is basically China, Hong Kong, like sites like Mary Mobiles or Walmart that I've recommended. And let's start with China here. So, okay. So first off, how to identify these sites? The best thing is find something you want, all right, and go ahead, get the site's URL, take the name of the site, search it on Google. You will get a good idea of what people have to say about it. So if it's a scam, you would definitely come to know. And generally the rule of thumb is that if an offer looks too good to be true, it probably is. And again guys, whatever I say here is based on my knowledge of importing electronics to India, but you can apply it to any country, because end of the day there are a lot of things that would be similar, and also to anything else, say clothes or something, it would still hold true. Another thing you could do is install this add-on. It's called WOT onto your browser. So this add-on lets you rate websites. So if people have bad things to say, they would let you know via that. So now we get to what the charges are. So basically, when it comes to charges, you've got the charge, the price of the product, you've got shipping charges, you've got currency conversion charges, and then you've got customs duties. Okay, a lot of you guys ask me, can you give us the price in rupees? What is the total price we'd have to pay for it? And I don't answer to these questions. It's not because I want to ignore your comment. It's just that it varies a lot, and I'll tell you guys why. First, price of the product, that's fine, that's going to be fixed. Whatever you see on the site is what it's going to be. Number two, it's going to be, what is number two? Shipping charges. Yeah, that's going to vary depending on where you're located. For India, again, it's going to depend from based on the product you order. If it's going to be basically how couriers work is they calculate. It's not just the weight of the package, it's also how big the package is. It's a little complicated. So say a OnePlus One with its bigger box might cost you a little more for shipping than say a Mi 3. Xiaomi has really small boxes. So just to give you a rough estimate, via DHL or FedEx, DHL or TNT is what generally Chinese sellers prefer. The pricing would be somewhere between $35 to $60, $50, something around that to India, and it'll vary from country to country obviously. So that would be shipping charges, and then we get to currency conversion charges. This here is a little tricky. So basically, if you're using PayPal, you get two options. Option one, you can let them bill you in dollars, and your bank will charge you for the currency conversion. Number two, PayPal will handle the currency conversion for you. You'd have to pay PayPal a certain conversion fee, and that's it. Your credit card would get billed in rupees or whatever your local currency is. So over here, PayPal's charges generally roughly work out to about 4.5%. In India, all major banks charge about the same, 4 to 4.5%. But if you have a high-end credit card, you could negotiate with your bank, get something. Like say for example, HDFC offers a card that wherein international charges are just 2%. So this again varies from bank to bank, from country to country. Just check with your bank on what's the best conversion charges. PayPal is about 4.5%, so whatever works out lower for you, you can use that. All right. That being said, the next one is customs duties. Customs charges, there's no way around it. You will have to pay it. I've paid customs. I don't know a way around it, so if you guys know of a way around it, let me know. Marking it as a gift does not work, contrary to popular perception. At least in India, it doesn't. Maybe it did at one point of time. These days, it doesn't matter if the seller undermarks the value of the product. If they value it lesser, it doesn't matter if they mark it as a gift. In any case, customs will end up charging you something. How much are the customs charges? Okay, to somebody just watching this video, you might think it's going to be a certain percentage, and in theory it is supposed to be a certain percentage that they have to charge you, but end of the day it varies again from case to case. That is the reason why when people ask me how much did you pay customs for this device, I don't reply to that, because it changes a lot. What I paid might not be exactly what you pay. Again, to tell you how weird the scenario is, the OnePlus One, when I bought the phone, again, I bought it from Walmart.com. I used DHL as a courier. I paid 2,500 rupees for it. Okay, my friend wanted a OnePlus One. Again, I ordered from Walmart. I used DHL as the courier, and since he did not have a credit card, I paid for it via PayPal using my credit card. This time I get charged only 1,200 rupees. So I have no idea why I was charged 2,500. I have no idea why he was charged 1,200. This happens a lot. Every single time the customs changes, even if the value of the product is the same. It is weird, and as a reviewer, I need to get the phone sooner, so I've not really tried to negotiate with them or speak to DHL. I don't even know if it's possible, if you can talk to your courier guys. Okay, enough. Coming to how the customs clearance actually works. So it is a little different if you opt for post, or if you end up opting for something like TNT or DHL. So first, let's talk about post. The postal service is not something I would recommend for anything that's over, say, $20, because with the postal service, most of the times for very low value items like $2 or $3 items, they do not give you a tracking number, because the tracking number costs about $1. So if it's accessories, sellers do not give you a tracking number. They don't opt for it. Even if they do end up opting for a tracking number, it's not very accurate. Alright, it would show you clearing customs in the seller's country. It would show you entering your country, and that's pretty much it. There's not a lot you can do with those tracking numbers when it comes to post. And how post works is, say for example, China Post, the seller hands over to his local postal service, and the postal service hands it off to the Indian postal service, or whichever country you're ordering it from, that country's postal service. And then it goes and sits with customs. The postal service does not clear customs for you. So here in India, I don't know how it works in other countries. In India, the customs department sends you a letter. It's not an email, but a letter. They send you a letter. You don't get a call, just a letter. You've got to wait for the letter, and they might occasionally assess the value themselves and clear it. But 90% of the time, they end up sending you a letter where you'd have to reply with your ID proof, address proof, a proof of purchase. That is an invoice basically. And don't worry, a lot of sites would not give you an invoice, as in they wouldn't mail you an invoice or something. You can just send a copy of your order confirmation email or your PayPal transaction. Either would work. Just send them a copy of that. You'll have to mail it back to them, again, not email but physical mail. You'll have to send them a letter via post or a courier, and the whole process takes about 2 weeks. Okay, and the best case scenario, it clears customs in 2 to 3 weeks, and I've had my packages held via a post for about a month and a half, and that is a little weird. So I generally opt for FedEx, DHL, or some courier company, because with couriers, they will handle the customs themselves. You don't have to negotiate with customs. You don't have to send letters out. Say, let me explain how it works with DHL. With DHL, once your package hits customs, they send you an email with a link where you'll have to upload your ID and address proofs and an authorization letter authorizing DHL to clear customs on your behalf. So once that's done, DHL will handle everything, clear customs, and once you receive the package, you'll have to pay the courier guy the cash, how much ever you got charged for customs. Again, with post as well, you don't have to go to the customs office physically. You're still going to be paying the postman for customs, but you will have to send out letters. Over here it gets resolved via email. With post, it's also going to take longer. Apart from the customs times, even the transit times are going to be much longer. So with post, you can expect about 4 to 6 weeks generally. That's how long it takes for delivery. With DHL, TNT or Aramex, it's going to take a week. That's just and the delivery timelines. Customs, it can vary a lot. I've had my phones clear customs in as fast as say 2 to 3 days. It's also taken as long as a month, and it isn't with regards to any specific courier either. Say for example, right now my Huawei Honor 6 and ZTE Nubia Z7 Max are sitting with customs via TNT for the last 3 weeks. Back in April, about 1 month, my HTC One M8 was held by customs FedEx. It was via FedEx, and again I've had the same experience with DHL as well. So it basically depends on your luck and how customs work at that point of time. So it might get delayed. Generally it gets cleared within a week. These are the exceptions rather than the norm, and I would suggest going with DHL because DHL is pretty cheap compared to FedEx, and the service is almost the same, and you can also upload your documents. You don't have to wait for somebody physically to come back and give you an answer. You just upload it and you continue tracking. That's done. One more thing of note here is PayPal also charges the sellers about 3.9%, if I can recall correctly. Some sellers in rare cases do try to pass on these charges to you. Okay, say for example this website liav.com that I've shopped with, when you go ahead, add it to the cart and come to the final purchase screen, you see PayPal charges 3.9%. I'm not sure if the percentage has changed, but something like that. And these are charges that the seller is supposed to be bearing. Passing them on to the buyer is not right, but some people do it. If you see that, don't shop with that site. You would find it cheaper elsewhere, so you can just try to get it from a different seller. Okay, these are for mobile phones. Now when it comes to accessories, I'm gonna say the exact opposite of what I've been talking about so far. Go only with post. I would suggest you use ebay.com to buy your accessories from. They are extremely cheap, but it takes a long time. It takes about 4 to 8 weeks or even longer for you to receive stuff. But if you don't receive it, you can always create a case and eBay will refund you the amount. The sellers themselves might refund it. If not, eBay will make sure that they step in back and make sure that you get a refund. But it's extremely cheap. Most accessories that you can find on ebay.in here in India are available for about 10 to 15% of the price on ebay.com. So that is somewhere that I'd suggest you guys can pick up accessories from. Alternatively, you can also use aliexpress.com. Find a seller with a good reputation, and I've done that about 3 or 4 times, and they do ship stuff out. Because Mi 3 accessories, when I had the Mi 3, they were not available on eBay, they were not available anywhere, so I had to use AliExpress, and my experience was good. It took me about 2 months to receive the cases and screen protectors I ordered, but I did end up receiving them. Again, with eBay, with AliExpress, make sure that the seller you're shopping with has a good reputation. Make sure they have a lot of positive feedback. Before you do not shop with people with 0 feedback or anything less than 100 feedbacks. Do not shop for them. Make sure that they have a lot of feedback and they've been doing it for quite a long time. So now, before we are done with the whole China part of this video, the answer to your question on what is the final price in Indian rupees or whatever your currency is would be the value of the phone that you see on the website that I recommend, plus shipping charges depending on where you're from, plus any conversion charges. You can roughly hold it to 4.5% worst case. Shipping would be, you can take it as 2,000 rupees, $30 to $50 is your rough approximate, and whatever customs charges I cannot comment on. I have no idea. I told you how different it's been. Generally, rule of thumb, anything you buy from China, phones, you'd end up getting charged somewhere between 2,000 to 4,000 rupees as customs. The maximum I've ever paid from China has been 4,500. From the West, it's gonna be, the maximum I've paid for a phone, 7,000 bucks, HTC One M8. So that's generally between 5,000 to 7,000. The Galaxy S5, the Galaxy Snapdragon variants that I've bought, the HTC One M8, M7, generally I pay between 5,000 to 7,000, 8,000, 7,000 bucks, I guess, something like that. So That's it. So that is going to be your total price. And as far as warranty goes, you do not have any company, you buy a Samsung phone from Europe, Samsung is not going to provide you warranty in India. You could reach out to the sellers, say for example clove.co.uk, you could just send them a mail, ship it back to them, and they would claim warranty on your behalf and send it back to you. Most sellers, even in China, are kind enough to do that, but you will have to pay for shipping from your end, and they wouldn't charge you for return shipping generally. But again, that's a case by case basis depending on who the seller is. So when it comes to warranty, you do not get warranty unless international warranty is explicitly mentioned in the product. So check the product page. If it says international warranty, you're more than good to go. If not, warranty is not something you can claim. So now moving on to shopping from Western markets. Generally, a lot of sellers do not ship to India, be it Best Buy, be it Amazon. A lot of sellers on Amazon do not ship to India, do not ship outside the United States. So for this, you'll have to use something called freight forwarders. The one I use is shopandship.com, that is being handled by Aramex. Okay, so how this works is they will give you an address in United States or wherever you want to buy the product from. You order it and it gets shipped to that address, and this freight forwarding service will forward it to you for a fee. So generally for phones, it comes to about 1,000 to 1,500 rupees, $20 to $30 to India. That is how much Aramex charges. But the catch here is that since the address is located in the United States, you will have to pay the local the sales tax over there, so which again causes the prices to rise. So that is how freight forwarding works. There are other freight forwarders, and I've read reports of if you get a freight forwarding service from Oregon, you can bypass the sales tax, but I've not personally tested that out. So if you guys know about it, let me know in the comments below. I'd probably annotate it here in the video. So that is how freight forwarders work. And again, since it's Aramex, customs clearance is handled by them. You will just have to pay the courier guy when he comes to you, when he comes to your doorstep with the package. And now we get to sites that actually support shipping internationally. These are like sites like Amazon. Again, there are a lot of sellers. All you need to do is go on to Amazon.com, search for what you want, and click this little checkbox to the side. And it is not 100% accurate, but most of the sellers shown in the list right now will ship to India or whatever country you're from. So over here, in this case, you don't have to worry about customs, you don't have to worry about shipping. All your shipping charges, your customs charges, it will all be calculated at checkout. This is how Amazon works. Newegg is another one who's recently started to support shipping to India. Again, not on all products. They have a certain few that they ship to India via this site. And other websites like clove.co.uk, they ship to India directly, and in this case, anytime they're shipping directly to any other country internationally, the local sales tax, the VAT in case of UK, will not be enforced for us. So that is something worth noting. So guys, I want to add another thing to the whole post versus couriers like FedEx and DHL scenario. Over here, it's just that customs also realize what I just told you guys. Like, if the value is low, ship it via post. If it's higher, choose DHL and FedEx. And since customs officials realize this, DHL and FedEx packages are going to be under more scrutiny. And one more word of caution here, guys. There are a lot of websites these days popping up that sell imported items here in India. And there are others promising services where they'd handle everything for you, offering you the safest and cheapest ways and so on. And I request you, please do not go with these websites. Generally, the user experience is horrible. The timelines are horrible. You could end up getting stuff a lot cheaper if you import it yourself. Okay, if there is something that you definitely need to get from elsewhere, then go ahead, do it yourself. You can go with freight forwarders and so on in the country where you're buying it from, but do not go with any service here in your home country to help you import it. Do not do that. Most of these guys are ripping people off with at least a 20 to 30%, selling things 20 to 30% higher than what it would cost if you import it yourself. Alright, being somebody who imports a lot of stuff, I've checked out a lot of these sites. End of the day, when I work out the numbers, it's always 20 to 30% higher. So sorry guys, I keep cutting this video because I've got a bad cough, so my apologies for that. Anyway, so please do not go with these websites that are offering to handle these for you. Anyway, now coming to if you should import stuff. International shopping is great as long as the value is less than $50. It's fine. You generally do not get charged customs. Again, anything higher than that, if it's a very good deal, something like the OnePlus One, then yeah, definitely go for it. If it's something that is also sold locally, then better go with your local seller, because you get warranty, which more often than not international orders will not come with. And if it's not worth the hassle, if the price difference is going to be less than 10%. So these are my 2 cents. This is how I go about importing stuff. This is how I get my phones in. This is why I really cannot give you guys a solid answer. I cannot give you an amount for the phone as to how much it comes to in rupees when I'm doing the review of devices. So that's pretty much it, guys. I guess I covered everything. So if you guys have any more questions, hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The links to my social networks can be found right below the like button in the description. And thanks a lot for watching. Hope I didn't bore you guys to sleep. So till next time, this is Ash here from C4E Tech signing off. You guys have a great day. Bye bye now.